Good morning friends, welcome to Sharekhan pre-market view. Yesterday Indian markets after opening flat were down for the major part of the day. However, the markets had a sharp rebound in the later part of the day and finally managed to close in the positive territory. Though Sensex ended up by 6 points and Nifty only by 5 points, however market continued to close on record highs. If you look at the US market in yesterday night, they had quite a small bit of gains coming in their indices. Dow ended up by about close to 40 points, Nasdaq was up by about 20 points and S&P by 6 points. Now this modest gain came in because there is expectation amongst investors that US economy is strengthening in order to sustain the economic down cycle which is there in major other globe, as well as the economy is able to come out even after the stimulus has ended. Overall result season has also been quite good till now. So there were gains. Back in Asian markets, most of the Asian markets are trading deep in the green. China is up about 1.3%, whereas Japan has more than 75 bips gain on the indices. This is after weakening of yen against US dollar, which has helped Japanese economy, and a strong data point which came in wherein Japan had a good trade surplus data which was wider than expected. That is pumping most of the Asian markets. Indian markets are indicating a positive opening in the green. Singapore Nifty is indicating a 16 points positive opening. If you look at the flows, flows in the cash market continue to be positive from the FII side. They were biased to the tune of 355 crore in the cash market. However, there were minor sellers of 88 crores on the index future side, and they sold about 350 crores in the stock futures. So, given this backdrop, let's have a view as to after opening up by 16 points, how Nifty is placed and where it can position itself. Let's have a view from Sad.
Good morning friends, let's have a view on derivatives. In yesterday's trading session, we have seen that Nifty started the session on a flattish to positive note, but in beginning of the trade, Nifty hit the fresh intraday high as well as lifetime high at around 8416 odd levels, backed by gains in many of the blue chip counters, and after that we have seen that Nifty showed resistance at higher levels and slipped into a negative territory, backed by losses in many of the blue chip counters like L&T, Reliance Industries, ONGC, Tata Motors, Tata Power, and they were like top losers in yesterday's trade. But we have seen that post lunch, after positive opening of European markets, Nifty showed resilience at lower levels, and from there it recovered sharply, but unable to hit a fresh intraday high again. And finally, it snapped its session at 8379.50 odd levels with a marginal loss of 0.03%. In this period, we have seen that marginal short positions were built up in yesterday's trade as around 61,000 shares were added in open interest, and Nifty futures price decreased slightly by approximately 3 rupees. Along with cost of carry also decreased by 7% from 9.77% to 9.07%, and Nifty futures premium decreased significantly from 45 points to 35 odd levels. On the options front, TCR is increased by 4%, 3.09%. It was increased from 0.97 to 1, which is a positive sign for the market, and we have seen that put option has added around 15 lakh shares in open interest, whereas call option has added only 3 lakh shares in open interest. India VIX was down by 1.28% from 14.11% to 13.93%. In the options activity, we have seen that 8,400 call option has reduced its shares in open interest, and that activity was shifted to 8,500 and 8,600 call option. In yesterday's trade, 8,600 has added good number of shares in open interest. In the put option also, we have seen that 8,300 followed by 8,400 put option has added good number of shares in open interest. Yesterday, 8,300 has added good number of shares in open interest. There is only one security in ban period today, which is India Real Estate, and FIs were net sellers of approximately 1,000 odd crores in future and option segment. They were net sellers of 89 crore in next futures. They were net sellers of 566 crore in next options. They were net sellers of 393 crore in stock futures, and they were net sellers of 37 crores in stock options. Our 5-day CVM stands at 8360. Lower range for the market would be 8,300, and higher range is still same 8414. Once Nifty closes above this level, we may revise our targets towards upward direction. Singapore Nifty is up by 14 points, which is at 8404.50. We may see a positive, flattish to positive start in Nifty futures today. That's it from derivatives. Thank you.
Friends, now let's look at some of the actionable ideas for the day. First one being tourism sector. Now, according to Ministry of Tourism, the foreign tourist arrival in India has seen a growth of about 10%, and the tourist arrival was at 6.56 lakhs. This is 7.5% growth YOY, that is from October 2013, and bodes extremely well for some of the tour players like Cox and King and Thomas Cook. So one can long Cox and King with stop loss of about 298 for potential upside of 320 and above that at 325. Also Thomas Cook one can look at with stop loss of 172 for potential upside of 192 and above that at 197. Friends, Lavasa Corporation, which is a subsidiary of Hindustan Construction Company, yesterday has received SEBI's approval for raising 750 crores through an IPO. Now this is extremely positive news for HCC, as this would help it raise certain funds, and one can long HCC with stop loss of about 33.40 for potential upside of 35.5 and above that at 36.5. Aurobindo Pharma yesterday in its con call has indicated that out of 450 products that its subsidiary Activis, which is predominantly in the European market, the company is looking to replace about 200 products from Aurobindo's basket. Now this would be done in a phased manner over 24 months and this would help company raise its margin. One can long Aurobindo, as this is extremely positive news for the company, with a stop loss of 1002 for potential upside of 1059 and above that at 1072. Now important results which are going to be announced today. Amongst large cap we have Power Grid which is going to announce its numbers, and the expectation here is about 1317 crores. We also have Himmat Singha Side which will announce its numbers. The expectation is close to 26 crore, and ILFS Transportation expectation here is about 101 crore. Now watch list that we have created for today. On the positive front, we feel that Bank of Baroda amongst PSU banking space would see some action. Crompton Greaves can see some action, and Ashok Leyland. So one can trade on these stocks with positive bias with a stop loss of close to 2%. Whereas stock which one could short from intraday perspective, we feel Z Entertainment, CMB's 368, TVS Motors and Adani Ports which are seeing some sort of short build-up can be shorted from intraday. Moving on to the news section now, in a bid to bring NBFC and align their business model to the banking space, the Reserve Bank of India on Monday has unleashed tighter rules for NBFCs. Now, according to the new guidance, NBFC would require higher minimum capital, would have less time to recognize the NPAs or the bad loans, and a board-approved fit and proper criteria for directors' appointment. Now, these rules will bring it par to the rules which is followed by the banks. These rules will have to be complied by year 2018. And would be implemented in a phased manner. Also, kindly note that these rules would be applicable only for NBFC which have funds worth more than 500 crore and are raising deposits from public. So the central bank has also indicated that it would issue more fresh NBFC licenses going ahead. In another news, Infosys Labs, which is the R&D arm of Infosys, has been among center piece of CEO Vishal Sikka's future plan. Now the company is likely to get involved into disruptive technologies including artificial intelligence and automation by forging partnership with companies engaged in this area. So that is positive news for Infosys. Also, Department of Industrial Promotion, that is DIPP, has floated draft cabinet note for 100% FDI in medical devices through automatic route. Rajiv Bajaj in an interview yesterday has indicated that Bajaj Auto, the country's third largest two-wheeler manufacturer, may revive its neglected entry brand, that is Platinia, and also it will launch 4 or 5 new products in its premier brand, which is Pulsar and Discover. This is with an aim to take on competition with Honda and Hero Motor. Also, international rating agency Moody's yesterday have indicated that it expects India to witness sustained robust growth over the next 2-year period. The agency has retained our rating agency and has maintained a stable outlook on our country. Now, CBI on Monday has reiterated to a court that they have cognizance of various offences against Aditya Birla Group and certain other people like PC Parekh, etc. in the alleged coal scam case. Also, after raising prices of CNG and piped natural gas for retail users, yesterday GSPC has announced a reduction in the PNG prices for its industrial user. The price has been dropped by about 2 per standard cubic meter with effect from November 16. The aviation minister yesterday had a certain announcement. First of all, they have indicated that they are looking at privatizing or bringing IPOs for Airport Authority of India and Pawan Hans Helicopter Limited to improve efficiency and transparency. Also, they have not ruled out privatization of Air India. The ministry has added that an expert committee has been set up which would give a roadmap for the breeding state-owned airline to achieve full potential. So friends, that's all we have for today's session. Have a fantastic trading session.